What's going on, guys? Ernest, Ralph, ER Sports here to talk to you about what we love the most, and that is NBA basketball. And today we're going on with our next segment in the 2019 free agency talk. That is Uncle Drew himself, Kyrie Irving. Before we go any further, Big Bro, how you doing today?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm ready to do it.
Let's dig in. Let's go further. So, as we heard from today, bro,
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving has opted out of his player option.
Yes, sir.
So he is now an unrestricted free agent, which means, for those of you living under a rock, when you're an unrestricted free agent, you can sign with any basketball team out there in free agency once the clock hits. So, another thing we learned today was that he fired his agent.
Yes, he did.
And Kyrie Irving signed with Roc Nation.
Yup.
And as we all know, it's owned by Jay-Z, the rapper.
Yes, sir.
That's my dude, Jay-Z. And man, he's a part owner of the Brooklyn Nets. So it all falls together, man. But I want to ask you, Rob, what's your opinion about that?
My man, I mean, the signs are pretty much pointing out to my man that he's leaning towards Brooklyn. So we heard the report going on that Kyrie was leaning towards Brooklyn, and Brooklyn right away just went into a flurry.
Yeah.
Went ahead, unloaded Allen Crabbe's contract, traded also away a couple of draft picks as well. Their 17th pick this year and a top lottery protected draft pick next year in 2020. Pretty much what that move just pretty much did is Brooklyn set themselves up to have two max free agent spots available for them.
Okay.
Of course, the intention was always intended to be Kyrie Irving and KD. Hey, much love, my man. Prayers out to you as well, my man. But it's a little tricky when it comes to that because Brooklyn went ahead, they did what they did, they got rid of Allen Crabbe's contract, and yes, they can have two max free agent spots available. However, in order for them to do that, they may have to let go of D'Angelo Russell. Now, if D'Angelo Russell, as long as, here's the way they can go ahead and manipulate this. If Brooklyn can go ahead and get a commitment, say from Kyrie Irving, as well as Kevin Durant, early enough in the process, they can still go ahead and offer a contract to D'Angelo Russell because his qualifying number still allows them to have two max free agents to them. However, if somebody in the early stages of free agency goes ahead and pitches in a high contract to D'Angelo Russell, that's pretty much going to go ahead and mention everything. So bottom line, Brooklyn's going to have to make two choices. Either number one, go ahead, sign Kyrie Irving, bring back D'Angelo Russell, and that's the squad you're coming with, or come to the decision like, you know what, we're going to go with Kyrie, hoping we can land a guy like KD and let D'Angelo Russell walk. But that's pretty much the situation they're in, and that's the only way they can make it happen in terms of the numbers.
So you feel that Kyrie's best option is probably the Brooklyn Nets then? That's what you're saying?
Not necessarily. He does have other options. I do like the Brooklyn aspect because I do like what the coaching staff and the president of basketball operations is handling over there. You know, I do like the pieces over there. You got a young center in Jared Allen. You also have Karis LeVert. You also have Joe Harris. Okay, so they have some pieces going on over there right now.
Yeah, and I mean,
Spencer Dinwiddie as well.
Exactly. I mean, and if they get Kyrie,
yeah,
then there's no need to keep D'Angelo. I mean, he had a great season, but
however, D'Angelo, I'm not saying that's a worst case scenario, but D'Angelo can play off the ball. He can play shooting guard. So I could see a world where Kyrie Irving and D'Angelo Russell can actually go ahead and work together and mesh together as being two combo guards in that backcourt. You know, I mean, hey, I can actually see it happening.
I mean, you could see it happen, but I mean, for D'Angelo, the season that he had, he wants the team to be his like he had before. So I don't see that happening if Kyrie's going there. And if they're going for Kyrie, it's because they're going for someone else. Whether it's KD, they're going to go in a room with
guys, like, make it clear at this point. The fact that Brooklyn went ahead and did what they did and traded again draft picks. We thought we'd been lost with this Brooklyn, all right? But you know what? I see you. I feel you. I see what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I think at this point, Brooklyn is saying that, you know what, we're ready to go all in. They proved it by trading away the draft picks, and they feel if they can get Kyrie and another top-level free agent, and they have to sacrifice D'Angelo Russell, I think at the end, Brooklyn's fully committed, but it definitely looks like, my man, that Kyrie Irving is a very real possibility in Brooklyn this year, and I do like the pick.
Sounds good. I'll say this. It's a lot of what-ifs.
Absolutely.
It's not what-ifs about Kyrie going there, but if Kyrie signs there, it's a lot of what-ifs to make them a contender. So, even though that I agree with you that Brooklyn is a great option, I don't think it's his best. If I'm Kyrie, I want to go to a team that already has a great player that I can build off of that.
Yeah.
Why not go to the Los Angeles Lakers, man? You got LeBron James.
Yeah.
You got Brandon Ingram. You got Lonzo Ball. You got Kyle Kuzma. You got Josh Hart. they have a really good team. LeBron and Kyrie played before, but that's when LeBron was deep into his prime.
Yeah.
Now, you got 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
They both can be the man over there. I feel, maybe not this year, but I feel that LeBron is at the age that he needs to defer towards somebody else, just like D-Wade did for him. If you haven't seen our other videos, we've said that before. But LeBron, if he pitches that to Kyrie, I feel that the Lakers would have a strong chance to get him. Even that he signed with Rock Nation.
Yeah.
But if LeBron, I mean, we've talked about this offline, dude, but seriously, I know LeBron is still the man right now. But if LeBron has that talk and says, dude, I need you, and we can do this together. KD's not in anymore. The season's going to be open next year. We can do it with this squad. And with the team they have around them, you use that mid-level exception to get a shooter, get some veteran minimums, guys that can surround your bench, give them some good playing time. The Los Angeles Lakers is the best offer for me.
So let me tell you, I do like the fit. Anytime anybody next to LeBron James is always a good fit.
Yeah.
And obviously they made it work in Cleveland. So you mentioned about, pretty much like going ahead, okay, you know what? This is your team. I'm going to go ahead and defer to you. The reason that Dwayne Wade did it with LeBron is the reason that I felt eventually we started winning the championship the way we did.
Yeah.
And that was part of the problem, though, in Cleveland, my man.
Yeah.
Remember, when Kyrie first got to Cleveland, it was his team. It was his team. And in fact, when he signed that max free agency contract in Cleveland, it was for LeBron committed to go to Cleveland as well. So obviously, they were able to go ahead and work together. I think they worked really well together. Obviously, you won the championship in 2016.
Yeah, man.
But at that time, it was still perceived like, you know what, LeBron was Cleveland and Kyrie was second fiddle. And I think Kyrie just got caught in a situation where he said, you know what, my man, it's great what we're doing. We won the championship. It was great, man. But I want to do my own thing, and I want to have my own team. All right? He went to Boston, and we saw how that worked out. Okay? Which I still feel it can work out in Boston if Kyrie fully commits. But going back to LA, my man, I could definitely see a scenario where Kyrie says, you know what, LeBron? We did it the first time. Just go ahead, man. Let's rock this again.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to be you and me. We got a young core around us in La La Land. Let's go ahead and do this. But you mentioned, my brother, and I do agree with you. For that to work, it's LeBron has to sit down with Kyrie, and LeBron says, you know what, Kyrie? I am now deferring to you. All right? I was the man in Cleveland. I want to make this your team.
Exactly.
And for LeBron to say, you know what, Kyrie? I only want to make this your team. I want you to be the MVP.
Exactly.
All right? I want you to be the best player you can be. So when we go ahead and we reach the finals, we hold that trophy, all right? I want you to be the MVP of the finals, not me. Now, this is all pretty, a Hallmark card moment, but can it really happen?
Can it? Yeah.
Brother, I don't know. There's one word that you use always in sports, especially in the NBA, man. That word is used as ego. And at the end of the day, my man, it's easy to say it, it's easy to preach it. And I'm sure LeBron will preach it in meetings because they're going to get a meeting with Kyrie. They're going to meet him with Kyrie, they're going to get to sit down with Kyrie, and they're going to have their pitch with LeBron and Jeannie Buss and Pelinka and everything. But will Kyrie buy it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the thing. Kyrie knows LeBron a lot more than other people. That more people would probably think the fact that he played with him for 3 years. So that's going to be the telling factor. But I agree with my man. If LeBron is fully committed to that, I believe it can happen, and they will be successful in LA.
Absolutely. Two things have happened since they last played together.
Yep.
Kyrie has failed. He hasn't gone as far as he was with LeBron, and LeBron has gotten older. So they have learned from their mistakes. I think you check that ego in the door, work together, and you have a possibility to win. We got the Lakers, we got the Nets, two teams that are other possible destinations. You can always go back to Boston.
Absolutely.
That's always an option. If they can make a trade for AD like we've talked about before, if they can talk Kyrie into staying, that's an option. Also, there's the New York Knicks. They have enough cap space to get two max players.
So let's stop right there.
So that's what I was going to ask you. Do you have any opinions about the Celtics for the Knicks?
My man, everybody's going to have opinions about the Knicks. Obviously, the talk all year was about Kyrie in New York. All y'all on YouTube watching us right now.
Exactly.
That's what you've been hearing all year. Obviously, man, that whole KD injury, my man, we're rooting for you, we're praying for you, my man. That threw a gut wrench and everything.
Big time.
Can I still see a scenario that Kyrie says, you know what? He calls KD, we can make it work. You know what, KD is what we're going to go ahead and do, my man. Let's go ahead and do this. We talked about this, we preached this, you know what I'm saying? We went ahead and sidebarred. Let's go ahead and do this, my man. I'm willing to go ahead and carry the load as much as I can for a year, my man. Maybe might even free for a year. Maybe the way medicine works nowadays, my man, and the way KD's game is, we talked about, he's silky smooth, my man. His game is not predicated around, jumping out of buildings and things like that. It could be possible that KD maybe could be back after the All-Star break.
That's true.
Of course, in a limited role and everything. So I think it's the way Kyrie wants to see it. Can it still happen? I definitely think it is still a possibility in New York, my man. It's just obviously his mindset is going to completely change.
It's very true.
When it comes to New York. They don't have the first overall pick, but they have the third.
True.
Can they make a trade for Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
That's for our next segment for the New York Knicks. Check that out, guys. So, but going back to Kyrie Irving, my man, I can still see it as a possibility. I do wild cards all the time, my man. And you know what? As boring as a wild card is gonna be, man, one of my wild card teams for Kyrie is the Boston Celtics, man. Look, no one of us are there in the inside and see what's going on over there. But you look at that situation with Boston, my man. Danny Ainge is one of the best general managers in basketball. All right, bro. You got Brad Stevens, one of the best coaches in basketball. You got one of the young, best up-and-coming players in Jason Tatum. You also got Jaylen Brown. I know you got Gordon Hayward, you got Al Horford in a big contract, but there's a reason why they got big contracts. Al Horford is still an all-star caliber center in this league. And Gordon Hayward, my man, I actually still believe in him, man.
Yeah, I do too. I think next year is really going to break out.
I don't know about breaking
out
anymore.
It's going to be the second year after that.
Well, it's not about breaking out because I think Ernie, bro, if Kyrie is committing to Boston, it's not about Gordon Hayward. It's about the progression of Jason Tatum. Sure. Can Jason Tatum take that next step? Because let's be about one thing. Gordon Hayward doesn't have a next step. Gordon Hayward is what he is. What you want to hope with Gordon Hayward, can he return back to near, if not the same player that he was in Utah? I think that's what you want to hope for at this stage. But Kyrie Irving, bottom line coming out to Boston, is the two players that they have. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and some of these other draft picks that they might have moving forward. But I think that's going to be the biggest transition in terms of Kyrie saying, I want to stick to Boston. It's not looking like it. And honestly, Kyrie, my man, I don't agree. I really think Boston's a great place for you. But you know what, my man? He doesn't think so, apparently, as we hear about reports. That's all that matters right now, man.
Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, we discussed it.
Yeah.
I know you say the Nets. I say the Lakers. But, guys, we want to hear it from you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with Ralph? Are you towards the Brooklyn Nets, which is obviously the wrong choice? Or are you towards the right side, that he can go to sunny Los Angeles, be a part of Showtime, La La Land, playing with LeBron James? Are you with Team Ernest with the Los Angeles Lakers? Or do you agree with the wild card, Boston Celtics? Maybe you think the New York Knicks is the best option.
Yep.
Maybe the Knicks can go after Kyrie, get Jimmy Butler, stick with their third pick, or even trade it. Or guys, maybe there's another team that you think that Kyrie Irving fits better in. We want to hear from you, ER Sports Squad. And this is the opportunity to grow ER Sports. Guys, we want to take enough time to thank each and every one of our members, but we want to build it more. Hit the like button, share on social media, comment, let us know what you want to see, let us know what you think. But most importantly, bro, tell them what's the most important thing to do.
My man, the most important, subscribe, hit that like button, obviously, we appreciate the love, and of course, as my brother said, hit that comment button, my man, and any suggestions, anything, topics you want us to bring up, we'll do it, man.
And that's
Enough said.
You already know.
We'll pack out.